Hello everyone, you got the Bub031 here again, and we are at the Nick Smith Center here. After 2 years of being on hiatus, we have the Arnprior train show. So we're going to go inside and see what's up. So hope you all sit back, relax, and enjoy. Okay, so of course this year, after a 2-year hiatus, it's 2 areas again. We are meted at the entrance with a whole bunch of flyers of shows and that coming up. And we have a map of all the layouts and all the distributors around. And of course, we're meted with a couple of layouts at the beginning. And then we go through the automatic doors and we come into the main hall. As you can see, with the main arena, it's actually on a different side this time. It's actually, you go basically straight in. And it felt bigger. And all along the side here, you can see it's all vendors, local vendors selling product from what has been purchased and being sold. Not bad prices, to tell you the truth. And they're all in different scales, as you can see. From the biggest scale, which is G scale, all the way down to the smallest. We also have some art being sold. Keep going down the edges, as you can see, more tables, more kits, more accessories, more rolling stock, more locomotives. Everyone's just getting together. It's been 2 years since the show because last year the building was being repaired and getting upgraded. So it's great to see that the show is back. It looked like there was actually quite a bit of people here too. So much stuff on tables and everything. It was nuts. More G scale and all that. You also got some old Hornby British stuff as well. I bet you someone would love those O&R cars. A little bit more accessories, some movies, DVDs, some art. But yeah, quite a bit here. Yeah, we also got quite a bit of... There was some rare stuff there, to tell you the truth. It was tempting, but some of that stuff I didn't get. I did not want to go crazy this year like I did last time. So yeah, a little bit more. We also have some ON30 stuff for sale, which here, as you can see. Also, you can get remotes for digital command and control like NCE. There was some Digitrax and some ESU products. A lot of stuff selling. Some people selling some of the old Rapido, old Athearn blue boxes, cars, N scale, you name it. So this was a neat little thing here. Of course, there's also brass, as you could see. And this actually caught my eye here, but we'll come back to that after. Some True Line train stuff. That was actually very rare to try and find. I did not get that, though. A lot of HO scale equipment. And along the back wall, this was one of the bigger local vendors around. Of course, we have some stuff here. And yeah, ooh, so much stuff. Vehicles as well. Like, it wasn't bad prices either. It was pretty good, to tell you the truth. And like, this was great for people like to get trying children started, so they can start off with DC and then maybe later on go into DCC if they wanted to. There's a nice G scale SD70 ACU I just saw. Squirrel. Carrying on, some O scale products, some brass, more brass, some 00. and some references as well, buildings, you name it. It actually wasn't that bad of a little just to be back at it. So, and as well, even if you needed track, you can get it there. Buildings to add if you want to really start up getting your layout going. Actually, probably one of the main vendors was this guy who sells the buses. So he sells English buses, North American buses. I believe he is a local vendor though. But yeah, there's a lot of neat stuff here too. But that was basically all on the outskirts of the rink wall. And then we have the last table here, as you can see. And then we're going to move on to the layouts. So the first layout I'm actually coming up to is the Pine Valley crew. These guys came all the way up from the north, and it's an N-scale layout. And it is pretty neat of what they got going on here. There is another N-scale there are a few N-scale layouts here, but these guys who they actually called me out of my actual nickname, so I just want to give these guys a shout out. They actually found out I was Bub031, and they shook me and gave me a few stickers. Neat little layout, as you could see, weaving through tunnels and all that going around, and very prototypical long consist from what it looks like. Like N-scale, you could really, if you wanted to, make very proper prototypical trains at a reasonable size. So these guys are pretty awesome there. Gotta love their bright orange shirts. So the next group we go to, it's a club garden scale that's just around here in the local area. Not kind of neat to see, especially with all the big products that they have there. So it's not just one scale, there's multiple scales, like I said. Of course, they had to have this set up on a table, which was neat. As well, we also had the Thomas the Tank Engine G-scale crew. They show up as well. Then have a couple of O-scale setups and some T-track is sort of what it was called with this. Basically, you put everything, you set up a module and then you hook it all together by clamping it with the, or you just lay it up on top and you connect it that way. But it all goes together like so, as you can see. It's a pretty neat little layout. Of course, we have another G-scale operation going on, but this guy does also cars too that he had set up. And we also have an end-to-end switching layout, as you can see here. And then we have the Ottawa N-track personnel who came out with their big layout. And it's a neat layout to see. There's a couple of new modules on this layout, to tell you the truth, that from any other time that they have been to shows, like they have added more and more. So these guys are getting bigger and bigger. So I would say go check them out if you guys are interested in N-track or N-scale model railroading. But as well, go check out any type of scale. Try to get into the hobby as best you can. It's a great hobby. This is a new one right here. This is actually almost based on Japan. Because there's an actual, yep, as you can see. Then we come back around. We have the loop here. But we're still following this main track around, as you can see. And then we move across their bridge. And we come back around to almost back to the yard that they have set up. Lots of O&R, as you can see there. All right, so we move on to the Ottawa British. So this is 00 gauge. British scale of 176, really. This is actually a neat scale. They actually have some very nice stuff here, these guys do. And I believe this layout is dual, so it's DCC and DC at the same time. I just couldn't remember which track they use for which one. But yeah, they had the inner city going around the layout, as you can see here, just in a simple loop. I can't really name off what area it is. They would have to tell you, but it was neat to see them. Still going around, just doesn't stop. Gotta love it. So here we have another style of HO scale. This is the Madawaska group. Their stuff actually sits on top of a table. Their modules don't have legs, and they all snap together with clips on the outside. That's how they get their track to work. So I believe you really have to make sure that everything is in line with them. And there is a different scale of each style. So you got G scale, O scale, HO, N, which is pretty neat. Still going along here. I don't know what standards they have, but this is actually a neat style of just setting it up on a table and then hooking it all together with just clips. It's a neat little layout. So yeah, I would check these guys out. Go check out the Madawaska Modelers Group. And then we had the Dirty 30 ON30 module gang. So their track style is HO scale track, but O scale locomotives on a narrow gauge. This is like its own thing, completely out, which is a neat style of module railway. As well, there is some stuff here that is actually familiar that you would have seen from my past videos. Like this module, you have seen that HO track, Ottawa Valley. So some of the modules, you can sort of intertwine with them. But yeah, so it's HO track, like I said, with O scale style buildings, O scale locomotives. It's like a narrow gauge railroad. It's a neat railroad to see in person. And these guys have been getting bigger and bigger every year. And they're not really considered a club. They're considered a gang. They just show up, go run, and have some fun with it. With so much detail to the layout. It is amazing of what these guys can do. And actually, some of the modules here, like the base modules, are actually made by my friend, Mr. Bob Moore. Go check him out. He helped me build Debojo and Algonquin. So that's a turnaround point. And then we're going to go back. We're actually at another end of the layout here, but we went to one end where it was a turnaround, which was, I believe, over on the far end. And now we're following it back. Coming across the junction, as you can see here. And then we have St. Anthony's Yard, which is also part of HO track. As well, my friend Bob Moore showed me this. This is OBS blocking that he's been trialing. And I may be adding this to Algonquin later on down the road. But it's actually neat to see it in person. So the locomotive goes through, goes red. Next block back where it was through, it went yellow, and then it goes back to green. Such an awesome concept. As well, we also have a little flagman system here that you can use as well. That is awesome. I would love to do that. Put a blue light that way there. Blue flag, nothing can move. All right, so we're going to move over to the other hall now, the community hall, where there was a little bit more stuff. Got a few more vendors in here, and of course, we have a couple more layouts. Few more kits, some O scale, HO scale. Some neat stuff here. More O-scale, more vendors, so much stuff. And then we have the Belleville crew that's here. So this is their modules layout that can actually sit on top of a table as well. We have another vendor that is right next to them. And then we move on to the last layout here, which is of Ho-Track. So if you're thinking of joining a club and you're in the Ottawa area, if you're interested in HO scale, these are the guys you should maybe look up to see. They meet like during the normal from September to June, like once every 6 weeks, and it's a good circle layout. I'm not going to explain all of them. We're just going to go around, take a peek, because I've already always mentioned which layouts and which sections there are in previous videos. Look up my previous videos about that. Oh, there's a nice little steam train going by. And a good size LRC locomotive there as well. Actually, that module right there, Pine Point, got a little bit more of an upgrade. There's now a siding there, as you can see. I will at least mention one. We're still going to keep moving down. Another locomotive waiting. And you can see the light of the hot box going off. Love the sweeping corners. Fun running on this layout, it is. Like, even though this is just a simple circle, we always run it differently every time it's set up, so the layout will always be different. It's never the same. And sometimes we do run at the Science and Tech Museum. We'll see what happens later on if they're running in the new time frame. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much it for this layout. We're just coming up to the back end. So let's enjoy watching some trains.
There we go. Video time.
Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Now let's head back and see what I got at the show. So, from the show, I actually did pick up a couple of things. Not much. I did pick up a Iconics replica Prevost HC45 cruiser. which I'm going to decal into something special later on down the road. I also picked up some dump cars, which will go with my maintenance of way consist. And as well, like, I know you guys have already seen the video of this, but this was also received at the show. And as you must know, the video is already out on it, so go check out the review. But that's pretty much it for what I got, everyone, from Arnprior. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. There is going to be more to come, and that's going to be it for now. So, as always, make sure the signal's green and keep moving down the line.